This is Severe MMA, and we're alongside Cage Warriors Fighting Championship lightweight Tim Wilde. And got a fight coming up in Liverpool, Echo Arena, a big arena. But first, I got to talk to you about the last fight, Scott Clist. A tough guy, but for anybody watching, that wasn't the Tim Wilde we've seen before.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with you there, and everyone else who knows and follows me, they'd say the same. I wasn't myself. Not making excuses, not taking any credit away from Scott. He did his job, he got the job done, he won, he was a better man on the night. But yeah, I wasn't myself. Firstly, I don't want this to sound like I'm making excuses, because like I say, Scott's a tough guy and he got the job done, but I wasn't myself. I was 40% of the fighter I can be, and you know, I had a bad weight cut, I had personal situations going on, but like I say, I don't want it to sound all like excuses. I didn't turn up, he capitalised on that, and yeah, it's moving forward, it's the kick up the arse I needed. So
is the quick turnaround a real blessing then? Were you anxious to get back into the cage, and how were you feeling like when you finished? Was it, I want back in straight away?
Yeah, I went away with my wife for a week after, and pretty much all holiday I was doing already, and just talking about the fight, reflecting. Like, I wouldn't shut up about MMA, I couldn't switch off, and I'm glad really, because you know, at this point in my career now, you don't know how a loss will affect you, and things are hard at the minute, you know, and money's not great. It's like, it's very, very tough, and I think, well, you know what, I've sacrificed too much now to let it go just after a little blip like that, and that's what I want to see as a blip. I don't think that fight was a true reflection on me, and I just want to get straight back in there and put it right, and like, it was a big kick up the arse what I needed. So, and Cage
Warriors, giving you a real decent opponent by all accounts, Michael Lebeau, sorry for the French, former UFC fighter. You know, this is a guy with some big experience, has fluctuated up and down weight classes, so he's a fairly big guy. How pleased are you with this opponent?
Me and the team and the coaches, John and stuff, we're super happy that Cage Warriors still believe in me. That they're not. I don't see that last performance as knocking me back down. I've got to work my way back up again. I still think they see me as a contender, and obviously they've given me a UFC vet in Lebeau, and yeah, it's nice to know that they still believe in me, and I'm just excited to test myself against a high caliber opponent like Michael Lebeau.
Where's he most dangerous?
I think he's an all-rounder. I mean, you watched him. He stood with Stevie Ray. He didn't. I think, well, he lost. He come out worse off, but he didn't look rubbish by any means. But then he out-grappled Pacquiao. I mean, Pacquiao did take the fight on short notice, but I think he is an all-rounder. I don't think there's anywhere he looks, oh, I need to be wary of that, but he's dangerous everywhere at the same time, if you understand. So.
And is there been a specific focus in this camp, or is it getting back to being wild by name, wild by nature? Is it, what's, again, based on last performance, you doing anything a little bit differently?
Yeah, if you take your mind back to the Delaney fight, I don't know if you remember that fight, but how focused I was in that fight, that is exactly where I took myself back to. This last camp I wasn't focused, I was all over the place, and I've got to say, I probably underestimated Scott Clist a bit, I overestimated myself, so this fight, I'm treating it as like I'm fighting Mike Tyson. You know, I'm back to the drawing board. I'm focused. My weight's not an issue now. Like, it is just a kind of revamped, focused me. As for doing anything different, yeah, I've stepped it up. I'm coming up now to Rough House a couple of times a week, getting more training with higher level pros in, more regular, and yeah, just nothing's really changed. You know, I don't think we was doing anything wrong. You know, it wasn't my training that was wrong. As I said earlier, it was up here, and it was my weight cut. So
we can still expect that the footwork, the movement, the odd angles.
Yeah, that is me through and through, and that's you know, I do think anyone will struggle to handle that, so I'm not going to look to change that anytime soon. I'm just improving it, if anything. So yeah, definitely still look to keep it standing, the same routine, keep moving, hit and move, and just being fast and sharp. But I'm loving wrestling at the minute, and I've been doing a lot of it. Obviously I had a ban after the last fight, and that's up this week, so I've been doing a lot of wrestling this last 4 weeks, and jiu-jitsu as well with Neil Simpkins, who's one of Braylio's top black belts. So I feel really good. I know it's hard to say that after the last performance, but I feel great, and I just can't wait to get back in there.
The cliche is, you take more from the losses than you do sometimes from the wins. Is it cliche, or in this case, is it absolutely bang on?
No, it's not cliche at all. If I'd have gone in there and I'd have caught Scott, knocked him out, and you say I'd have got signed to the UFC or something, it could have happened there. I think I'm quite, in a way, I'm glad it's happened here, and I've got time to put it right, and I've kind of realised, right, you know, it was the best way to say it is the kick up the arse I needed. I've been like it my whole life. I've never given anything 100%, and for different reasons and whatnot. But you're going to see me at 100% from now on. I've done too much, sacrificed too much. You know, lost friends. There's a lot of stuff goes on behind the scenes. People don't know about in MMA. You know, the sacrifices you have to make, and I just think I can't go the last 6 years doing all that to just go, I'm going to go back to being a full-time electrician and stuff. So, I mean, I've took this fight September the 10th. My baby's due to be born like 6 days or something like that after the fight, and as you know, it's my first one. You've got to give it 2 weeks either way as well. But luckily, I've got a really understanding wife, and she supports me, and you know, God bless her, I love her to bits, and she knows how bad I need to fight and put this right, so she's okay with it.
You're going to put a show on September 10th?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be me at 100%. Tim 2.0, I keep preaching on social media. It really is going to be a different me.
Version 2.
Version 2.
Tim, it's always a pleasure catching up with you. Best of luck. That fight is September 10th, the Echo Arena in Cage Warriors. I don't know, anybody you want to give a shout out to? Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Good Fit Nutrition. They've really looked after my weight cut this fight camp after the last one. I had a bit of a bad weight cut, but just my physio, active therapy, but Booster, they supply me with all my stuff, and my gym, UTC staffs, and my coaches, and everyone who just follows me. And also just a quick shout out to everyone who got in touch after the last fight, to, you know, because it's easy to message someone and praise them when you're winning, but it's when you're losing, those messages, they mean so much more. You know, they really do pick you up. So thanks to all the guys that follow me, and thanks for yourself for the interview.
Tim, always a pleasure. Thank you.